Code switching. Is code switching bad for your health? That was my original question, right? And I thought through this video and I decided to do some research. Come to find out, code switching is really bad for your health, for your mental, for your psychological. It causes different things, even devaluation. Originally, I was going to say, you know, I don't believe in code switching because I believe I want to become a person I could be proud to be on a universal level, right? Like work, school with my kids. Because nowadays with the internet, most things come to light, right? Like there's people out here who are losing their job for things that they do off work. Y'all remember back when Trump got elected, it was so many people who got fired from their job because they were doing like nasty racist comments and videos and stuff, against colored people and brown people. But it's not to lecture you about this. That's not what this is about. Just embracing your authentic self, but becoming someone you can be proud to be universally. If you don't know what code switching is, it's basically like one moment somebody could be at their job, like, hello, Mr. Peterson, how can I help you today? Oh my goodness, that's your dog. He is so cute. Wow, be careful before you hurt your back. But then as soon as they get off work, they like, what's good, my nigga? What's popping? Where the hoes at? What's cracking? Where the Patron at? They're like that. That's code switching, right? Yesterday I was in Walgreens and the lady asked, what's your Walgreens number? And I say 424 dot 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 dot. Well, I said 42400 TT, whatever I said, right? And my son was like, Mom, why do you always do that when you give your number? And I said, do what? That voice you do. And in that moment, I realized I have been code switching and I wasn't even conscious of it. I know when I get on the phone, I try to talk more proper, but I didn't realize I was doing it. So that brings me to a valid point. If you're code switching, it can be affecting you on levels detrimental that you're not even aware of, right? Because really think about it. We are creatures of habit, right? So imagine if a person was lying in New Mexico. He's lying. He's been lying his whole life in New Mexico for however long. And then he decides, I'm going to come to California and I'm going to stop lying. I'm going to stop telling lies. Now, do you think that man is going to be able to stop within the first week, first month, first year? No. And that's my point today is I'm not saying to just show up to your job any kind of way, but why not just become a person you could be proud to be? Because being fake is time consuming. Being fake is draining. It will drain you spiritually, mentally, even physically. So it's no way that you can be being fake at work for 8 to 10 hours and you get off and tell me you the realest dude in the building. How is that possible? I mean, because we all have these habits that we pick up, right? Like you can sit here and say, I don't want to be nothing like my parents, but then there's a few habits you must admit you picked up on, right? So the phenomenal, beautiful, intelligent person, Tabitha Brown, she talked about how she no longer code switch, right? She said she used to have this office job. She would go in there and she would put on her professional voice, which didn't really sound like herself. But she said she didn't see prosperity and growth really until she became and embraced her true self. Now I'm not saying if you're a ratchet person, you should go to work and be ratchet. Why can't we just work on not being ratchet? If you're an obnoxious person, why not just work on being more kind? Because being fake all the time, it's draining, right? Like, why not become someone you could be proud to be? That's what I'm working on. Like I try not to curse anymore. I probably curse like in my videos, I probably drop one curse word, right? Or two. But before I was like, every sentence, MF for this, BS, this. I'm working on it, I'm working on listening better. There's things I'm working on. So I no longer really try to code switch, but I still do it subconsciously because it's a habit. Habits are hard to break.
Code switching can have negative effects on mental health, communication, and other areas. Mental health, code switching can lead to cognitive fatigue and burnout and make people hypervigilant to their surroundings. It can also make others have a hard time seeing people as they are and can lead to emotional exhaustion. People who code switch may also feel like they have to suppress their cultural and physical identities. Communication. Code switching can impair communication, especially with people who only speak English. In foreign language learning, code switching can make it harder to acquire the language if it's used to avoid engaging with it. Stereotypes. Code switching can perpetuate stereotypes, especially in the workplace. For example, employees who code switch because they are afraid of being stereotyped for their natural way of speaking can reinforce the idea that certain ways of speaking aren't acceptable. This can be a serious DEI issue. professional issues. Code switching can lead to professional issues such as burnout and emotional exhaustion. For example, Black employees who feel pressure to code switch may feel devalued, which can reduce their commitment to the company. Listen, Linda, if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and let me know what your thoughts are on code switching.